This is exciting. Jane, I am so happy to see you again. I've gotten to hang out with you a few times. And we just came from a really exciting moment here.
You did. You got to play Weakest Link. It was great. And you were very mediocre.
Thank
You should be
you.
very, very pleased with yourself. But you're cute. So that's really all that matters.
Thank you. I tried hard to, live up to the weakest link
Yeah.
title.
There you go. Well, I think you did.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
So this is awesome. I mean, listen, you have so many titles under your belt: actor, comedian, singer, mayor. Um, did you did you always have aspirations to be a game show host?
It was never something that I aspired to, but I love game shows. Always has. As a kid, I watched them. The daytime ones, I would fake sick so I could watch, Tattletales, Match Game, Baffle, Hollywood Squares. I just one after the other. And did I think I would ever host one? No, never. It wasn't even a preposterous fantasy. It just never occurred to me. So when Sean Hayes asked me to do Hollywood Game Night, and he said it's 6 on the air. And I said, really? Well, I don't think I want to host a game show. And then I called him the next day. I said, what am I talking about? I would love to host this game show. And I just loved it. Just loved it.
Well, and everybody loves watching you
Thank you.
as a host. I mean, and especially getting to hang out with you before. What I love so much about seeing you host The Weakest Link is that it feels like I'm watching you do a character. Like you really, what goes
Sure.
into that preparation for you? How did you decide to do it like this?
Well, anytime I do anything, I think any actor or host person would say that you kind of decide what persona you're going to put forward, what feels best, what serves the game, what would make you most comfortable, and also at the same time, you know what your job is. It's to move the game along and hopefully to be a little entertaining along the way. So Anne Robinson had done this before, and everybody knows that Anne Robinson is serious as a heart attack. She's a no nonsense British school marm type of thing. And I think some of the contestants on the British version with Anne Robinson were, I know they were scared to death of her. But that was what was so fun about it. And it was a very dramatic show, and the dramatic lighting and the dramatic music, and the questions were, it's a trivia show. It's just, they're trivia questions, but the production of it was so great, and the tension that would be built. And the biggest fear for, I think, the contestants was ticking off Anne Robinson or disappointing Anne Robinson. So when they asked me to do it, I knew all about what she had done. I was a fan of it. And it was so revolutionary too. Never has there been a game show host where the contestants are quaking in her presence. So I just did my own version of it. I didn't think about it very much. I just kind of thought, I know how I'll do it. And it's fun, and I like it, and I think it's appropriate to me. I don't think anybody's really afraid of me. At least that doesn't seem like it. But I get to have a lot of fun with them, and they know the drill. They know I'm probably going to insult them, and they're going to be fine about it. They'll live, and it'll be funny. Hopefully.
I have to say now, being on the other side of that as a contestant, you were very kind. You really,
It's kind of a slap with a velvet glove.
yeah, it's nice. Um, so looking back, in the years of doing this, do you have an episode or a contestant or a moment that really stands out to you?
Well, they all do kind of meld together because we do 22 in a space of 2 weeks, and now we're about 2 years out from having done that. I feel like my AirPods are in. They are. I'm wearing them backwards. They're wrong here. What are you gonna do? I do remember this. There was a woman. She was a mail carrier from like Pasadena or something like that. She didn't know anything. Not because she's a mail carrier. She just didn't know anything. But she was the sweetest, funniest, and her answers were absurd. So she was eliminated, I think, after the first round, but it broke everybody's heart to do it because she was such a doll. And, you know, I haven't, I don't remember someone coming into the show with less knowledge of anything. And, you know, usually they, you know, they interview these people really well. They must have just been so, as we were, delighted with her. And it was hard to see her go, but she had to go.
Well, that's awesome that that's what you take away from it, you know, out of all the
Mhm.
big winners and all the big things, it's the personality that really stands out.
Yeah.
So
So that was a highlight.
that, yeah, that's cool. Um, so I want to know, out of all of your characters that you've ever played, who do you think would win the weakest link? And who do you think would be the weakest link?
I think Sue Sylvester would be the weakest link the entire time. And she would find a way to stay in the show until the final round. And she'd lose it. And then she would probably literally lose it and start throwing podiums around. She'd be the worst because she knows nothing, but she thinks she knows everything. And so who would be really good? Let me think. Who have I played lately? Oh, Sas Pataki from Only Murders in the Building. She's got like a weird reference level. Like she remembers things in great detail that maybe aren't important. In fact, might even go so far as to say useless. And so I think that would serve her very well.
I would love to see those two go head to head.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh. So if you were a contestant on the show, what would your area of expertise be in?
Random things, I think. History, probably like American history, presidents and stuff like that. Um, yeah, American history in general, I think I'd be good at. Pop culture, but only like 70s and 80s and 90s, nothing after that. Um, Movies from like the 70s or the 40s. Yeah, let's see. I think pop culture today, I'm not up on it. I'd fail miserably.
Hard. It's a delicate balance.
It is, yeah. You know, I know a little bit about a lot,
Mhm.
and in some instances, just enough to be dangerous.
That's what counts. So I listen, I always want to give you all the Emmys. I mean, I do.
Thank you, Sari. That's so nice of you
Um,
to say.
you have won and been nominated numerous times.
Yes.
What is it about the weakest link that makes this nomination so special?
Oh, it's the people that's, I mean, this is going to sound horribly humble, and I'm going to break my arm patting myself on the back for it. But we have such a well-oiled machine. Everybody who's a part of this is at the top of their game. And and so much so that it makes the doing of the show, which is the most important part. Everything else that happens behind it is in support of creating this thing that is the weakest link that comes on whenever it's on. Um, uh, so it would be a joy to get an Emmy for this show, and although I would keep it in my home, and I would probably put it in my background of my Zooms. Um, it's for everyone.
I love that. Lastly, I just want to touch on your whole body of work because I just, like I said, I always, I want to give you all the awards. I love you, everything you've done. Has there been one character that you've portrayed throughout the years that you can reflect on now in this moment to say that that role was instrumental to where you are today?
Probably Christy Cummings in Best in Show. And sometimes I go, I'll like have a flash of a moment in that movie. It was the first time I did like a role in a movie. I had some small things here and there, but I was one of the principals in this movie. And I made very specific, strong choices. And I look back on it and go, wow, I was scared, and I was working with like my heroes, and I didn't allow it to stop me from doing the deep dive into the character that, you know, knew I could do. So sometimes I think of myself almost as like another human being. It was like 25 years ago or something. Go, wow, that was bravery. That was bravery in the face of what could have been paralyzing fear.
One of my favorites, personally. So,
Thank you.
Jane Lynch, you are outstanding. Thank you.
So are you. Not so much of the game, but as a person.
Thank you. And that's what counts.
That's what counts. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much.
You
Thank you
bet.
so
It's my
much.
pleasure.
See you soon again.
Yeah, I hope so too.